the perfect plan to get healthy and get in shape. Let me tell you the exact process, the exact plan, and you can actually start making a lot of progress, and your biceps might become the size of mine and your VO2 max might become as good as mine. But to be honest, I don't think it's possible because I'm too jacked. Anyway, sorry. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I have been weightlifting for 3 years, calisthenics for 2 years. I have been doing cardio for around 2 years now, and I mean properly doing cardio. I don't just mean playing football on a Sunday. And on top of all of that, I've been dieting. I know how to eat food. I know how to gain weight. I know how to lose weight. I know how to put on muscle. I know how to do whatever I need to do, all right, when it comes to fitness. I've been doing this a long time. Please listen up. First step is the gym. Now, a lot of people don't think of the gym being for health as well as for building muscle. So obviously, they think of the gym, they think, oh yeah, that's how you build muscle, that's how you look good. That's how you get an aesthetic body, right? Absolutely. The gym is one of the most important things when it comes to getting in shape and building an incredible physique visually. But it's also very, very good for getting healthy, for getting a good internal system, we should say. So the first step, you get into the gym, you prioritize weightlifting, all right? We're not thinking about cardio when we're in the gym. We are thinking about weightlifting, packing on muscle, progressively overloading, going up in lifts every week. We are just making sure we are building muscle. Now, why is that important for looking good, but also for becoming healthy? Well, muscle is really good for your health because it can fight certain cancers, certain types of cancer, should I say, diabetes, other loads of different things, heart disease, etc. Little things, muscle can help you. Also, if you are in a horrible, tragic accident, which please, let's say you're not, you are genuinely more likely to survive if you have more muscle mass. Just simple as that. Increases bone density, amazing. Now, it's also very good for looking good. As we know, having muscle is going to make you look aesthetic. Obviously, you need to be pretty lean as well. We'll get onto that in a bit. But the first staple is just building muscle to look good. You need that as the foundation to have an aesthetic physique. Everyone you see, even like a physique like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, very, very lean. Of course, that's why his physique looked so good, because his conditioning was great. But he also had quite a bit of muscle mass. Every actor that looks amazing in every role, they have muscle mass. That's the foundation. Everyone who has a good physique has muscle. So that's what you need to do. You get into the gym 3 times a week. You can increase it as you go. But for your first year, especially if you're, really new to everything, you haven't really worked out that much in your life, first year of lifting 3 times a week, training hard, you are going to put on probably upwards of 10 pounds of muscle, probably even more depending on your genetics. So train hard in the gym. Don't overtrain too much. In your first few weeks, don't train till failure, because you're going to become too sore and you're going to be too fatigued and you're never going to go again. In the first few weeks, ease into it. Make your workouts easy. 1 set for each exercise. Then increase the volume, increase the intensity once you've gotten used to it. So first step, get into the gym, weightlift. Make sure every single week you're trying to go up in weight or reps. Stay in the 5 to 30 rep range. Don't be in the gym for more than 2 hours, spending your whole day there. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do to build muscle. And you're also becoming more healthy, because building muscle is always going to be better for you. Your metabolism is going to be boosted. As we know, having muscle mass, it burns more calories. So you're more likely to be lean as well when you start just packing on muscle. And in that first year, you are going to be putting on so much muscle. Also, studies show that going 3 times a week and going 6 times a week, for example, when you're in your first year in the gym, the difference is very minimal. Obviously, later down the line, when you become more advanced, 100% increase to 5 times a week, whatever. But for the first year, get in there 3 times a week, train hard, focus on your form, make sure your concentric is shorter than your eccentric, etc. All the things you already know, my muscle connection, etc. That's the first step. The second step is your diet. You want to become healthy, right? And you also want to get jacked. Your diet is staple to all of this. So what diet do you need to do to acquire both? So you want the 80-20 diet, all right? That is the most healthy diet. That is the most sustainable diet. That is the best diet for muscle growth. What is the 80-20 diet? The 80-20 diet is 80% of the time you eat the real whole foods, you know what foods they are, the meat, the eggs, the fruit, the vegetables, whatever. The foods that genuinely come from the earth, which you can pick from a tree, which you can grow from a plant, whatever, that come from an animal, anything like that, okay? Then, get this, 20% of the time, you enjoy yourself. You can still have some of the processed foods. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's not healthy at all. What are you talking about? You cannot sustain 100% whole food diet. No one on this planet can sustain 100% whole food diet because it is simply too difficult. You don't have the discipline for it. I don't have the discipline for it. No one does. And you're missing out on so many amazing fun events with your family, friends, if you only eat the real whole foods. Imagine you could have a 10 out of 10 memory, 10 out of 10 memory on a pizza night, right? But you can't fully enjoy that 10 out of 10 memory because you're not eating the pizza. So 20% of the time, enjoy yourself, have the processed foods, but just make sure 80% of the time, the foundation of your diet is the real whole foods. That is going to be good for obviously your internal functioning, your gut microbiome, your hormones. It's also going to be really good for packing on muscle and staying lean for a few reasons. It's good for packing on muscle because the real whole foods are usually high in protein, all right? Protein and amino acids, building block of muscle growth. We know this. I've said this analogy so many times. The training is catabolic. It is where you break down the muscle. It is the construction workers. The protein are the building blocks. When you're out of the gym, it's anabolic. You are recovering, you're eating calories, you're eating protein. That is when you're building muscle. So protein high in whole foods. That is why we're eating the whole foods. Good for health, good for muscle growth. Also good for leanness because they keep you full up. Everyone knows, or if you've been lifting for a while or into fitness for a while, everyone knows hunger is the reason people are fat. If you never got hungry, you would probably you wouldn't be that fat. But because you're hungry, because you're not being full up, because you're eating so many processed foods, you continue to eat, you overeat, you exceed, you go into a calorie surplus, you gain weight, all right? So the first two steps are pretty easy. Go to the gym 3 times a week in your first year, increase it later down the line, focus on intensity, volume, etc., but go up gradually so you get used to it. Then you have a sustainable, healthy 80-20 diet, which is actually going to last a lifetime because you can stick to it. And it is so healthy. It has the foundation of all the amazing foods. You're getting all of the good food groups in. And yeah, you are getting all the vitamins you need, micronutrients, macronutrients, etc. Then the last step to this whole puzzle, which is probably the most important and has the highest correlation to longevity and reduces your all-cause mortality rate, cardio. VO2 max, your respiratory system. It is so drastically important to be doing something for your internal system, whether it be cycling a few times a week, whether it be swimming a few times a week, whether it be just getting 10 to 15,000 steps a day. Get it done. Get it done. Be active. Oh my God. Sorry, my throat. Be active. Why are you doing nothing? Being sedentary, not moving, it's not good for your health. You need to test your heart. You need to allow it to get better and become more effective when it comes to your respiratory system. So what I recommend, oh my God, my throat's so dry. What I recommend is going and getting around 10 to 15,000 steps a day. Then 3 times a week, do some sort of cardio. You know, if it's, I don't know, playing football, anything that is improving your heart health, that is quite intense, maybe zone 2 or zone 3, not crazy, but genuinely getting your heart rate up, getting your blood pumping, that is so beneficial for your health. And it's going to be beneficial for muscle growth and fat loss. So you're getting best of both worlds. you're getting jacked, and you're becoming healthy. So yeah, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. 3 times a week, go and cycle. I don't know, 30 minutes. 150 minutes a week. 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio, you will probably add 5 years to your life. 5 years to your life. Maybe more. Dropping your body fat levels will increase your life expectancy. 5, 10 years depending on how fat you are right now. And this is a kind of added extra. We spoke about cardio, we spoke about diet, we spoke about the gym, but getting lean. You doing the first few steps, the first steps, you're going to be getting leaner. But if you make it a genuine goal to get to, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, 15% body fat, around there, a good range where you're lean, you're not too shredded, so your hormones aren't crashing, so you're just not energized. You get to that type of percentage, you're adding years to your life. Your heart is going to pump more effectively. All of these things are adding years to your life, first of all, which who doesn't want? You don't want to live on this planet for longer. That is sad. So you're getting that. Everyone wants that. And you are getting jacked. You are getting in shape. So many people are either one or the other, which I don't understand. So many people are really healthy. Marathon runners, really, really healthy. They look like shit. Then we have the other extreme. They look really skinny, malnourished. Then we have the other extreme. We have bodybuilders, shredded, jacked, but they do nothing for their heart health. They do nothing for their health in general. They, have terrible diets, but just because it's calories in, calories out when it comes to dieting, and you can just have protein shakes, you don't really need to have an amazing diet to get an amazing aesthetic physique, to be honest. But to have both health and an aesthetic physique, you need a very good diet. You need your cardio on point. You need to be actually training really hard. All these different things need to be perfect. So you want both. You need to lock in on your diet, first of all. We know that, 80-20. Not 100% of the time, because you're not that guy. You cannot sustain a diet like that. Then you go to the gym, you weight lift, you actually pack on muscle. Remember, you need to get high protein as well, because without high protein, you are not going to be building muscle. Simple as that. Protein is the building blocks. If you aren't getting, I don't know, about 1 gram per pound of body weight, a bit less, a bit more, whatever, you won't be building that much muscle. Simple as that. Your physique won't look that aesthetic. Then if you aren't doing cardio, if you're not doing 150 minutes a week, you're not maximizing your health. You don't need to go and do triathlons. You don't need to run for 4 hours a day. You just need to maybe do 10,000 steps a day and do zone 2 cardio a few times a week. Go for, I don't know, a swim. Play some basketball. Anything fun. Do the cardio that you enjoy the most. It could be step machine. It could be the elliptical. Anything you can sustain. And if you hate every form of cardio ever, if you hate it, and I know it's really rich that I'm coughing and stuff when I'm talking about health. Anyway, if you hate the cardio in general, you cannot find one cardio that you enjoy, then just do the cardio you can get through. Do the cardio, you can put, I don't know, your phone on a thing and watch Netflix while you do it. Anything to get it done, because it's going to add years to your life. It's going to make your physique look so much better. That is the perfect plan to get jacked and become healthy, get in shape and become healthy, whatever you want to call it. The perfect plan that is going to make you look amazing and make you feel amazing. Simple as that. Now, in the description, there are 2 links. The first link is to my aesthetic body course, where you will know everything you could possibly ever know, all of the knowledge, all the advice that I can give you on how to build an aesthetic physique, how to build muscle, how to get lean, how to lose weight, how to gain weight, all the mistakes I made that you can bypass and just make more progress than me and make it faster, etc. On top of that, it has bonus modules going into more niche topics. So things like, I don't know, how to stay consistent, how to stay motivated, how to take good pictures of your new physique that you've got. Then on top of all of that, it's got my diet and workout plans, which got me shredded and, well, maybe not shredded, but very lean and very big. And on top of all of that, it has got me doing the exercises I suggest to you, myself, to show you exactly how to do the form, so you can just get into the gym and copy what I did basically, and there's no mistakes that could really be made on your part. Then the second link is a link to my one-to-one online coaching calls. It's so cheap. You get an hour with me. I'll give you any advice when it comes to fitness, any advice to get healthy, any advice to build an aesthetic physique, anything you could possibly ever wonder about, I will answer to the best of my ability. I've been doing this for over 5 years now. I know what I'm talking about, and my biceps, they speak for themselves. Go check it out, link in the description.